Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
Hey guys, welcome to lesson 3 of our dance lessons, where we're focusing on our toys scheme of work this term. Now, we've already looked at our Toy Story toys, so Woody, Buzz and Jessie, and then last week we looked at being a puppet like Pinocchio who is attached by strings. Now, this week we're going to be looking at a puppet who's free, so we've cut our strings this week and we're going to be moving around as if we are a free puppet. So our learning objective today is to use our bodies creatively when we are a free puppet. So by creatively we mean moving in different ways to what we've been doing before. Okay, so our level 1 or our bronze level just says that you can copy most of the actions that we're doing today. So I'll do some actions and you guys are going to copy me. Level 2 or our silver level says we're copying actions and creating some of your own. And then level 3 says that you're going to copy the actions with control and begin to remember them, which I'm sure you guys can do by now. Okay, right, let's get on with our warm-up. For our warm-up, we are going to play one of my favourite games. It's called Andy's Coming. So just like in Toy Story, the toys move around whenever Andy's not there. But when Andy comes back, they have to freeze, they have to stop where they are. It's just what we're going to do. So you guys are going to travel around however you like. It might be walking up on your tiptoes, that might be galloping, it might be skipping, jumping, however you choose to travel. Now, whenever you hear me say Andy's coming, I want you to just stop where you are and whatever position you're in. Right, are you ready? Okay, so let's move around. So it could be running, hopping, skipping, jumping, however you guys want to move around. That's it, keep moving. And Andy's coming. Fantastic, well done, good stopping. Okay, let's go again. This time, choose a different way to travel. Just don't travel the same way you just did. Okay, let's go. So we're going to be moving around in our area. And Andy's coming. Brilliant, well done. Okay, let's keep going, but change the way we are travelling so that we do a different type of travel. Let's go. So I'm going to choose to walk backwards this time. I'm still going to look where I'm going so that I don't bump into anything. And Andy's coming. Good job, well done. Okay, right, I'm going to leave you to do this warm up by yourself. So remember, move around, get someone to call out Andy's coming. Pause video here, go do your warm up. Well done, I hope you are nice and warmed up and you've practiced some of your balancing skills maybe by the way you had to freeze in Andy's coming. Now, I know one of them I had to freeze like this. It was really hard for me to stay balanced. So I'm sure you guys gave it a try as well. Now, before we move on to the main part of our lesson, I think it's best that we recap some of the things we've done before. Because if your memory is like mine, it's really hard to remember our dances. So what we're going to do is we're going to recap those dances. So it's our Toy Story actions and our puppet actions as well. Now I'm going to show you mine and then you guys will have time to do your own. Now I'm going to put some music on in the background to make it a little bit more like a dance lesson and a little bit more fun. So I've got Woody's Roundup music back from lesson 1. So I'm going to put it on and then I'm going to do my actions. So if you watch me, I'm going to put all my actions together and then I'll give you guys a chance to do the same. So we put the music on. Okay, so I'm going to start with my Woody. So here we do a big lasso like this, all the way around, and I throw it, and I bring it back in. Now my next one's that I moved into being Buzz, so I moved backwards, and I did a big jump forward, and then I spun around. And then I went to be Jessie, held on to the reins, and I was galloping around, moving. Okay, I then went straight into being a puppet. So I'm all floppy, and I had to come up like this, and move my arms, and just my arms are floppy. And then I did a big circle, and another big circle, and then I went all floppy again. Okay, right. What I want you to do is put the music on in the background, and just give yourselves a few minutes to try and remember your routines that you've come up with. So pause the video here and go do that. Welcome back. I'm sure you remembered all your Toy Story actions and your puppet actions. So So, like I said, our learning objective is to use our bodies creatively when our puppets are free. But from last week's lesson, we're all still attached by strings, so we need to cut those strings free. Now this is where you guys get to make the decision. You can work in a group of 4 or 5, or work as a whole class. Now we're going to pretend that we're all attached by strings, and we're all going to do the same actions together, and then we're going to pretend that our strings get cut. And it might be your teacher calls that out, or someone who's near you calls out cut. So they'll cut all the strings. Now, you choose whether you would like to all fall at the same time, so in unison, or do it one at a time like a cannon. So I would fall, and then my next person next to me would fall, and so on and so on. Because when our strings are cut, so we might be standing up like this, when they're cut, we're going to fall to the floor super quickly, because there's nothing holding us up anymore. So you need to think of the way that you're going to fall to the floor without hurting yourself. So don't just throw yourself on the floor and hurt yourself. So choose your puppet starting position. It might be that you've got your arms up like I did. It might be you're standing a bit like this, or with your hands on your hips, one leg in the air. How do you want your puppet to stand? So I'm going to choose that my puppet is standing like this, with one arm out nice and straight, and one arm bent. Now, when my partner or someone in my group says cut, that's when I'm going to fall to the floor. So they say cut, and I'm going to fall all the way down. And you can fall as far as laying down on the ground. It's entirely up to you. So get yourselves into a group or work as a whole class to do that activity. Welcome back. Hopefully you came up with the way that you were all going to fall to the floor once your strings were cut. Now I've got a very quick video that I'm going to show you from the film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Now in the film the characters pretend that they are puppets to get into the king's castle. So we're going to have a look at this video and we're going to see how he reacts when he's got no strings on him, because he's now a free puppet. So we're going to put the video on for you guys to watch along with us. So just have a look at the kind of actions he does once he's free and how he gets up out of the box. So you might have noticed there that he went really floppy because he forgot he didn't have any strings on him. So he went really floppy and then got back up to standing. Right, we're going to have a quick look because he does start dancing, and it might give us some ideas that we can use. Okay, right, we're going to pause the video there. What I want you to do is to talk to the person that's sitting near you about what kind of things you saw. Now, I noticed that he started moving really quickly in the middle of that because he was free and he could move around however he liked. So what kind of things did you guys notice? So, pause the video here to talk to your partner. Hey, welcome back guys. So that video that we just watched is quite a long video. We've only watched a little bit of it. If you'd like to watch the longer one, that's fine. You guys can go on YouTube and find the video for you to watch. Now, hopefully you've discussed with your partner some of the ideas that you've come up with. We're going to use those ideas and put them into a little bit of a sequence. Now, I've got a couple of ideas that I want you guys to try and copy. I'm going to show you 2 or 3 moves and you're going to see if you can copy me and then remember them once I turn the video off. So, go find yourselves a space. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start nice and low to the floor because our puppet strings have just been cut, so we are now down on the floor. So you can choose whether you are laying down on the floor or sitting down on the floor, whatever you like. So I'm going to count you in. When we get to 3, that's when we're going to start moving. And we're going to jump up super fast. So after our strings have been cut, we fall to the floor. So we're all on the floor, however you guys decide to land. Are you ready? We're jumping up, on 3. Ready, 1, 2, 3. We're going to jump up super fast. And then we're now a free puppet, and we can stand up on our own two legs. So we need to think about the kind of things that we would want to do now that we are nice and free. Now I want to do some jumping side to side, because I've never done it before. So I'm going to be jumping side to side, just like this. And you can wave your arms if you want to, so you can get them arms moving. Fantastic, keep copying. Okay, stop there. Right, my next action that I'm going to do is some star jumps, because a puppet never gets to do star jumps when it's attached to strings. So we start with our body nice and close together, we jump up, and we come back into our straight shape. Let's do it again. So we go up, into a star, and then back out. Okay, my last action that I'm going to do is I'm going to move my arms and legs at the same time. So I'm going to dig my heel into the floor whilst I spin my arms around. So it's kind of like I'm skipping, but without the skipping rope. So I dig my heel in and I move my arms around. And then I do my other heel and I move my arms around again. And you can do it nice and fast if you want to. Or you can do it nice and slowly. So we're going to see if we can put all of my actions together. So we start from the beginning, where we were down on the floor. Remember, you might be laying down or you might just be crouching down like me. On 3, we're going to jump up nice and fast. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So we're going to jump up nice and fast. And then my next action was my side to side jumping with my arms waving. Perfect. And then we're going to stop and we're going to do a big star jump. So you can go out like a star, and ready, one more, out like a star. And my last action was those heel digs with my arms moving. So we can do our arms nice and fast, or we can do our arms nice and slow. Okay, so I want you to see if you can come up with your own actions for your puppet that's now free. What's your puppet going to do? What kind of actions are you going to do now that you've got no strings on you? Pause video here to go give it a try. Hey guys, hopefully you managed to copy all of my actions that I did and you were able to come up with some of your own. Now what I want you to do is to go back to the partner that you've been working with in the last few weeks, because with your partner you are going to choose some actions that you are going to do. But you've got to try to remember some of the actions that I did. So you don't have to use all of them, but you must use at least one of the ideas that I showed you. So what you're going to do with your partner is you're going to use one of my actions. So you might choose to do the jumping and waving action. And that's going to be one of the ones that you use to create your next sequence. Now, you need to pick 3 other actions. So you've got the one that I did, and you can now add 3 actions. You're going to do the same actions as each other. So you're going to choose those actions and put them in an order that you can remember. Now, remember in week 1, when we did our Toy Story dance, we did it where we were either facing our partner, or we started with our back to back, or we started in different ways. I want you to think about that. Are you and your partner just going to stand looking at each other and doing the actions? Or are you going to stand side by side and do the actions that way? You guys get to choose. Remember, I'm looking for the most creative actions that you can come up with. So pause the video here to go do one of my actions and 3 of your own, so you should have 4 in total. Welcome back. We're going to start putting all our actions together, and we're going to start putting it to the music as well that we've been using. Remember, we're using that I've Got No Strings Attached from Pinocchio. Don't worry about trying to remember your Toy Story actions, because we're just going to do the puppet and the puppet-free actions. So we're going to use some of the actions from last week and the ones you've done today. Now, I'm going to show you my dance routine so far, and then you guys get to have time to practice your own. Now, if you want to join in whilst I'm showing you, that's absolutely fine. You can do your own actions at the same time. But I'm going to put my puppet actions and my puppet-free actions together. So I'm going to put some music on. Now, I started down like this. So I jumped all the way up, and then my arms were swinging side by side. I did a big round leg, and then another one, and then I went all flopping. After this, my strings got cut, so I fell all the way down to the floor. So I'm just going to do that bit again, so you guys can see. So I started really floppy, I came up, and then I got my arms swinging, did my big step, my big step and flop it. And then my strings were cut and I was broke. Now my puppet free actions, I jumped up and I went side to side, waving around. Okay, next one I did was those star jumps. I went out like a star shape, out like a star shape. And then I did my heel digs with my arms moving whilst I was heel digging. And that was all of my actions put together. Now that was quite fast and a lot of hard work to put them all together. So you guys can go a little bit slower. I want you to use your actions from when you are on strings, from being a puppet, and the actions you came up with today. So you're trying to put that all together. Have the music on in the background so that you can move around to the music as well. Pause the video here and go give that a try. Hey guys, I hope you've had enough time to practice your routines. Don't worry if you haven't, because you might have a little bit of time left to go and do it in a minute. Now, we've spent the last few weeks watching each other's performances and giving feedback about two things, our 2 star points, 2 things we really like. Well, we're going to change up a little bit today. We're going to do 2 stars and a wish. So 2 stars are the things we really like about their performance. But a wish is going to be something that you wish was even better than it already is. So you might say, I really like your skipping, but could you lift your legs a little bit higher? That's one of our wishes. It's giving them some feedback on how they're doing, how they might change things. But remember, we are still being really nice to each other, so we've got to come up with those 2 star points first. So you and your partner are going to go and watch another pair do their routine. And it's the routine that you've just put together. So where you're a puppet and you're on strings, and then when you are free and you're moving around. Okay, pause the video here to go and watch another pair do their routine. So we are nearly at the end of our lesson, and I know you have worked really, really hard. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch another pair's dance and you were able to give them that feedback, the 2 stars and a wish. So I'm sure you are doing really well. Now we are going to do the cool down part of our lesson. And for today's cool down, I'm going to be playing the music that we've been hearing all lesson. Now it is quite a fast song, but I would like you to move quite slowly to that. Whether you take really big steps or we're walking up on our tiptoes like we've been doing, whatever you choose to move. Now when the music stops, you're going to pick a body part that you're either going to try and stretch or just move nice and slowly. So if you can't think of any ideas, you can copy me. So we're going to put the music on. And as I said, we're moving around nice and slowly. You might move and swing your arms up higher, or you might be walking with really big steps. And keep going. So when the music stops, okay, so we now need to stretch a body part. Now I'm going to choose my arm, but I'm just going to do some nice slow rotations with one arm. You choose your body part and you make that body part move. Right, when the music's back on, we move around again. So I'm moving with my arms nice and big, and I'm just moving around nice and slowly, taking big steps as I go. So the music stopped, so we need to choose a different body part. Now I'm going to choose my head, and I'm going to do some slow looking to one side, and then some slow looking to the other side. So I'm just stretching my neck muscles, and I'm moving my head around nice and slowly. So you guys might have picked the same as me, or you might have done something different. Okay, right, so the music should have started, so we can move around again. I'm going to move on my tiptoes this time. I'm going to keep moving around on my tiptoes as I go. Okay, the music stopped. I'm going to pick my shoulders this time, and I'm just going to do some little round circles with my shoulders. You can go backwards or forwards, however you guys choose to do it, or you might be choosing your own body parts. But I think this might be the last time moving around. So I'm moving my big steps and I'm swinging my arms, and my arms are all stretching as I'm moving. Good, keep going. Oh, okay, and then last one, I'm going to stretch my legs. So I'm going to hold on to my ankle and pull my leg in. Now for this one, I have to stare at something that isn't moving so that I don't go all wibbly and wobbly. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the lesson and you were able to remember all of the actions and put them into a dance routine that you started coming up with. So well done for joining in, and I'll see you for next week's lesson.